Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Thrifting 101, how to thrift. If you don't know how, or maybe you need some extra tips, if you like to go thrift shopping, I have brought my sister-in-law, Erika, in for this because she actually does a lot of secondhand shopping. She is known for having this unique item that she found secondhand for a really good price somewhere. So I wanted to bring her in because I only have literally one way that I go secondhand shopping, which I'll mention later when we get to that, and that's it. I got nothing more to say besides that.
I can't wait to hear what it is. I don't even know.
It's very basic. Okay. It's extremely basic and straightforward, and that's it. So anyway, she does have her own YouTube channel. It's not about secondhand shopping, but it is about organizing and organizing your house and in your life. And so I will link her channel below. But let's get started with some questions about thrifting.
Yes, and I love that people are like curious about this. Like a lot of these questions have come from like your viewers and they're just curious. So I love the interest.
A lot of you guys have mentioned, just almost every video people mention something about finding things secondhand or thrifting and whatever. So that's what inspired this video. Okay, Erika. So my first question, in no particular order, are there any tricks to finding the best stores to thrift at?
No.
Or do you have personal favorites?
Okay, so this is what I will say. I think the best places that you can find things are going to be in like higher end neighborhoods.
Makes sense.
So whenever I go to Detroit and like visit my grandpa, I always go thrift store shopping because I always find incredible things, because it's a lot of times like wealthier people are just getting rid of their stuff. They don't care to resell it. They're just donating it.
Yeah.
Or I was listening to a podcast with Heather McMahon. If any of you guys know who she is, she's like a comedian, hysterical. She lives in Atlanta. That would be another good place where it's like, she's like, hey guys, go check out. I can't remember where it was, like in the suburbs or whatever of Atlanta, but she's like, I just dropped off some, Gucci stuff.
Oh, okay.
She's like, now listen, it's from like, Nordstrom Rack or something like that.
Yeah.
She's like, it's not, the best of the best, but that is definitely where you find higher quality type things or like luxury items. But other than that, like you just kind of have to look in your neighborhoods, and like there's so many thrift stores, and you kind of get to know which ones has the things that you're looking for. So some will be really heavy on books, or some will be really heavy on clothing, some home goods. Exactly.
What do you see are some common mistakes when people go thrift shopping?
I think
laundry.
I think two things: either not allowing yourself enough time, or not really having a goal. So I would say when you're gonna go thrift store shopping, allow plenty of time. You're gonna be digging. That's how you're gonna find things. It's more fun that way. If you have a longer period of time, you can kind of browse. You can really kind of get in the weeds with stuff, or not really having a purpose. So a lot of times if I'm going thrift store shopping, I know, hey, I really want to find a cool pair of jeans or a fun oversized sweatshirt or something, or I'm always looking for vintage t-shirts because they're just super fun, soft, all of that. So I usually have something in mind, but if you just want to go and shop, that's totally fine, but definitely allow yourself enough time. It's not going to be like running in and out of Target, So don't think you're going to zip in and out. You can, but you're probably not going to leave with like super cool items, in my opinion. You're probably just kind of skimming the surface when you're there.
Yeah, totally. That kind of brings me to the only way that I ever go secondhand shopping, or that I'm comfortable with, is if I have a very specific item that I'm looking for, because otherwise I just get so overwhelmed.
Yes.
I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much. I don't have time to look through all this, and I feel like I need to look through every single one. So like the last thing, I guess this was the last thing that I got secondhand, but I really wanted an orange mini skirt.
That's awesome.
Yes, it was when we went to Key West like 2 years ago, and I
Yeah.
had this idea in my head. I wanted like a white button down and an orange mini skirt. And so I was just scoured everywhere for it, and I did finally find it on ThredUp. So that was great. But yeah, that's my only way that I ever do it, because it's just so overwhelmed. There's so much stuff.
Yeah, and even when I go and I'm not even usually that specific. It'll be kind of like, okay, fun bottoms, fun jeans. Okay. Like that is like totally finding like a needle in a haystack. Of course it could be done. Yeah. But that's like You don't have to get that specific if you don't want. You may end up getting upset about your choices.
I feel like if I'm just like, I think I'm gonna go look at coats.
Yeah.
I guess that would probably be okay. I could
Yeah.
still go there and be like, I'm just gonna focus on coats today, and then not let that be that. But
and then if you see
or
something
belts.
else, you see something else. Yeah.
And that brings me to another question that I believe is on my list: is what are some of like your favorite categories, or do you think you have the best chance of finding a good item?
Yeah.
What categories are the best?
So I never look for jewelry.
Really?
I which is funny because I'm such a jewelry person.
Why?
but
It's just always just total crap.
It usually is not. That is one thing that I don't feel like people often give away. If they're not going to, if it's like a nicer piece, they're either going to hand it down to someone or maybe they will try to sell it or they're still holding on. So I have had very little luck. It's not usually like real silver or real gold.
Yeah.
It's one
like
thing if you
worth
want
it.
something fun, like kind of a chunky necklace or something, but I rarely look for jewelry. And again, that says a lot because I am a jewelry person. I also draw the line at shoes. I don't usually look for shoes because
it
just kind of grosses me out. You know, you can't really wash them, and everything else you can kind of wash in some way, shape, or form. So I personally don't look for shoes.
When you say it like that, it does seem kind of like
I know. Now, however, I have found some awesome bags. You can always find fun bags. Like I found a fun like bowling bag, if you know kind of what that is, like a bowling ball bag.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I've also found
You found a really cool coat one time. Remember that one that you like had? It was like a what would you call that? Like a cape coat?
Yes, it was a cape coat, and it had like fake fur on like cheetah print or something right there, like on the neck, and just tan throughout. But like that was out of necessity. So literally we went on a trip, remember?
Yeah.
We went for our cousin's wedding. It was in Wisconsin, and it was like way colder than we even expected. And I was like, No, it was your husband, my brother, who did not have a coat. That's why we went to that store.
Was it? That sounds about right.
Or shoes or something. He didn't have something. And I stumbled upon this and I was like, this is amazing. And that's the thing, like, I think it was missing a couple buttons, but that's an easy fix to me. Like, just give it all new buttons and it's no big deal. You don't have to worry about finding it. Along the lines, though, of like accessories and stuff. So I have had some of my best things with like scarves. I always have good luck with. Belts I have never had good luck with.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I would think that would be a really. What about like the men's section? I feel like it would be fun to find like a really good broken in leather.
And you know what? Maybe I just haven't.
Or maybe that's one thing that people just always go to and they're just always picked over.
I don't think so. I think it's probably one of those things
would be a good one.
Yes. And maybe I don't wear a lot of belts anymore. I kind of have, but
just not on your radar.
But now, like I would like to do. I'm like, I'm gonna go out and do that. But like one of my favorite things that I have found was a scarf, and it was like an Oscar de la Renta scarf.
Oh wow!
And like I liked the colors. It was blue, and then I saw it, and I was like, yes, I love this. I love this. So that was definitely like one of my best finds I ever had. Denim, always have good luck with denim. These pants I'm wearing right now actually are thrifted.
Nice.
They're like old Levi's. They're fabulous. I almost always have good luck with some kind of denim especially because the trends just kind of recycle with it. So people are constantly, I feel like, getting rid of their
Plus, like jeans are so specific. Like what fits me perfectly might not fit you, and vice versa. And so people probably get rid of the jeans that don't fit them perfectly, but they're like a perfect, pair of jeans.
Yeah. And the other thing is, if you found something that you loved, you could always get it altered too. Like especially with like something that's worth it. Like these are Levi's. I'll have them for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Exactly.
If they didn't work, I could easily get them altered.
Yeah. I like that.
Category that I usually have really good luck with is blouses.
Like work blouses?
Yeah, like a going out, like I just feel like if you can kind of go in with an eye of like how to style it pretty well, you can find some really cool things, whether it's like funky patterns that people have kind of outgrown that you could kind of, I'll put it under a vest, or I'll put it under like with denim or something like that. I just tend to have a lot of luck with black, true like blouses.
I feel like I don't yeah. No, not I just I don't think I would. I guess because my experience going into secondhand stores in the top section, it's like I don't want anything to do with most any of that. I'm just like, okay, this is like so not where I need to be right now.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing, like just because it works for me, it may not work for you. You'll have to kind of find where you want to look through too. Like I almost always look at tops because like I said, I like
we said you
vintage
like the
t-shirts.
Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah.
And like vintage sweatshirts and sweaters, like those to me are always worth looking at because I love like an oversized sweater. They're easy to find a size because I'm not super specific about what size I want.
Yeah.
And like I said, even with the blouses, if it's oversized, I find some way to use it. That's just me personally.
Do you ever look in the men's section for clothes? Like,
yes, the time I look in men's section would be for those things, like either a small sweatshirt or t-shirts. Other than that, and I'll look in like little kids sections too, specifically for the t-shirts.
Like little teeny tiny ones?
No,
like a baby tee,
a little crop top. No, but I mean like a youth extra large would fit me.
Yeah, that would fit you. You fit like my big toe. I can see how that would work.
Yeah.
Okay, you may have already answered this, but what is the coolest thing you've ever found secondhand? And then how did you find it? Did you just like stumble across it, or?
It's always stumbling across it. Like
it's like when you're looking for something, it's really hard to find it, right?
Yeah. I think the Oscar de la Renta scarf is one of my favorites. I've just found super cool scarves, which I'm talking about like a silk kind of scarf. So like you could either wear it around your neck or a lot of times I'll tie it onto a purse, that type of thing. I've had really good luck with that and really good luck with like jeans. I mean, those are kind of some of my favorites because they're just kind of staple pieces and I've had them for years and I know they'll last for years.
Yeah. Have you ever had to fight anyone over an item?
No. Everywhere, because I've never gone when they have like super specials or like that when it gets crazy. That's not my jam. It's already kind of,
it's like a
wild enough.
Day.
Yes, exactly. Now you can find really good deals then, but you can find pretty good deals no matter what day you're going.
I haven't had anybody fight me over anything, but that toilet paper holder that I have in my bathroom, I got at a Goodwill. There's a really good one in Ocala, Florida. Okay. I haven't been there a long time.
Don't tell the people your secrets.
But I remember going in there and I'm like, oh, this is a really nice one. And I got this nice toilet paper holder for like $2, and this woman was like following me around. And then when I got to the register, she came up behind me and she said, oh, you got my toilet paper holder. And I was like,
did not know this was a hot commodity.
It's not. I mean, it was sitting there on the shelf. And I said, so I think what I surmised, because she was like, you got my, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you really liked that or something. And I guess she was wanting me to give it to her or something. I don't know. But from her kind of like getting all up in my space about it, it made me think that she had it at one point, maybe put it back, thinking about it, and then here I come in like do like that looks nice, and to pick it up.
Yeah, and she's just like cringing.
But
so
it was
hold on to your items.
It was almost like I feel like if there wasn't a lot of people in that store, that
she would have been
like, yes,
it's fine, give it back.
And I would have been like, fine, you take it, it's fine.
Oh, I just thought of another awesome item that I've found. So jackets, like that one jacket we talked about, the cape jacket, definitely a top pick. But I also found a members only jacket.
Oh, I feel like
which was super cool.
Tell me about this.
That was like fun. Just like in a Milton, Florida, just like a random.
Yeah.
And like now I will say like the lining of it is tore. Like I need to stitch it, but it works fine. It's not like.
Yeah.
So I have found some cool jackets. Even this jacket, my little, again.
We didn't mean to both do denim today.
My little Levi jacket, I ended up putting patches on it, but got this at a thrift store.
Yeah.
Love
that seems like that would be an easy one. Yes. A really good one to find secondhand is denim jackets.
Yes, and pretty sure it's a men's. It's huge, like it's big, but it fits for what I want it to be. So you kind of have to see if what they're giving money to is important to you, you should do some research. So Some people don't like specific thrift stores because of maybe what they stand for, if they are associated with a certain religion or certain political beliefs. So that is something that you can look into if you have strong beliefs one way or another. Or
you may have answered this one already, but what clothing items do you think are easy to find secondhand? Like actually like in fashion, not like out of style or whatever, good condition, not hard to find good ones, and that was the end of the question.
So like I said, I think denim is always a good one to look for. And same with, even like we were saying, like blazers or jackets. I think you'll be able to find something that's either classic and never goes out of style, or something that you can kind of make fashionable and make on trend.
Yeah.
Blouses are a little bit harder, like I said. I personally love finding blouses, but some of them are straight up from the 80s, and you have to like,
and not in like a good way,
and not
like,
in
not like it came back around again.
You
it's
have
like
to find
it was left in the 80s.
Yes, or like, and if you have a good eye and like a fun, if you like being creative with things, then you can make it work. But I wouldn't go looking for like a top that you're gonna wear out tonight. Like you probably have to have some thought into it. If that makes sense.
Like do your own twist to it.
Sometimes you can find really fun sunglasses. I will just say that.
Okay.
Yeah, just as a little.
I've never thought about donating my sunglasses. Yeah. I have a lot of them, but I just feel like I either use them or they just, I don't know, I left on a restaurant table or something.
Yeah.
So I never am able to donate them. What about thrift stores versus consignment? Like the Goodwill type places versus a consignment?
Okay, so the difference between those stores is like a consignment store would be, you probably would find higher end items because people are trying to sell them to make a profit.
So they still feel like it has some kind of value to them.
Has some kind of value, they can get something for it. So they are consigning their own items and hope to, make something for it. Whereas like a thrift store, people are just donating stuff. Now, like I said, a consignment, you can usually find maybe nicer bags or nicer jewelry or belts, like those types of things, and clothing, obviously. But you are gonna pay a higher price too. So that's, what you're gonna be able to find at those places versus also like at a thrift store, you're going and you're just hunting.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. I haven't been to a consignment store in a long time. I feel like they used to be everywhere. Now I don't really see. I see secondhand stores, but not necessarily a consignment store.
Yeah, anymore. I feel like we have very few, and the ones that we do have are kind of, they're overrun with things. So a lot of times they're not even accepting. So
do you ever buy secondhand home goods?
Oh yeah, and I think that's a big thing for people right now. If you like to like DIY and repurpose something or like paint it. Listen, I'm not going out and painting a whole bunch of stuff. I want to be that person, but I'm not that person, okay?
Yeah.
It just takes a lot of time, but I applaud the people that do. But it's so funny. Like I was in Target this week and the artwork I saw there that's new that they're selling is stuff that you can go to a thrift store and just find. Like a vintage landscape piece.
Yeah.
Go to the thrift store and buy it for 25 cents versus $25 at Target. That to me is like a no-brainer. So it's a fun place to find frames, even if you're not going to use whatever is in the whatever is framed.
Yeah.
The artwork could suck, but you could put your own art. You could find just really cool frames. And just unique pieces. You can always find cool vases. A lot of times you can find like neat like candlestick holders,
toilet paper holders.
Toilet.
Like my bathroom.
Would have never thought to buy that, but I love it. So that's actually one of my favorite things to thrift is stuff for the home. Just like cool pieces. A lot of times you can find old books that are just maybe the right colors for something that you want to use in your decor.
Yeah.
I love doing that. I mean, you can find cool baskets, baskets.
I mean, that would definitely be one to definitely look for secondhand.
Yeah.
I like the idea of like finding those unique things because it would be like right now, I think, there's so much social media that, so many ideas on social media about like your house that everybody's decor starts to look the same. Like
Yeah.
this thing I have up here, I mean, I fully saw this whole thing on not this.
I love it. Yeah.
But like just black and white picture frames. Like
Yeah.
I saw it on somebody's social media. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I like that. That's clean looking. It doesn't look cluttered. Like, let's do it. And so it's kind of nice to, you know, and so when you go shopping at regular retail stores, they all have the same look.
Yeah.
Like, all have the same thing. They all have whatever's trending. So it is nice to go to a thrift store and find something that you're not going to find at Target, because that's just not what people are selling right now.
Yeah.
What about estate sales? I know that you have ventured into that market before.
So I have my own like online boutique vintage business. I now sell like some things on Etsy, but that is a really cool place to find things. You know what you're getting. So a lot of times estate sales, they'll advertise for it. They'll say specifically, this is what we are selling from these homes. If you don't know what an estate sale is, basically like it's the entire, almost everything in the house is for sale a lot of times.
Yeah.
And
it's usually like really like very fancy houses and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I found one of my favorite things ever, a brand new with tags Prada skirt.
Ooh.
Vintage though.
Okay.
Vintage, never worn, new with tags Prada skirt. Actually, it was a two-piece outfit. It was like this like tube top thing and this gorgeous maxi skirt. I was like shocked. But a lot of times they'll say, okay, listen, we're selling high-end artwork, we're doing blah, 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 blah. Like they will be specific about it. I also went to one that was like selling like Gucci scarves or something like that. Turns out I don't think they were real, but
oh, no.
It was still fun. It was still fun to go see. But anyways, you know what you're getting into when you go to estate sales. That is a place that you could look for jewelry though, for sure. You can find some really, really neat pieces of jewelry, but you are gonna pay a little bit more money. A lot of times though, an estate sale will last probably a whole weekend. By the last day, things are 50, 75% off. So,
but do you find the good things at that
not
point?
Necessarily, not necessarily.
It's like
not
one earring.
Yeah, exactly.
One shoe.
But you can find really cool like home pieces and so that's like another app.
Are there any other as we close, are there any other random tips you have, or like your best tips that you haven't shared already, or just anything else you think that someone would want to know if they're going to go embark on a thrifting journey?
Have fun. Just go with the idea that like you're going to find something and it's going to be great and it's going to be fun. To me, I've always liked it because it's like you're going on like a scavenger hunt, but you're not really sure what it is you're gonna find at the end.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. So, but I would just say have fun with it. Make sure you have enough time. And then it's just kind of trial and error. Like you'll have to, maybe one day you go to 3 different stores and then you'll kind of start to see what they have. And then you can know which ones to go back to for certain things. One for home goods, one for clothes, whatever it may be. But just have fun with it and make sure you have enough time.
Yeah, time is, I feel like, the key thing there. Because I think that's where I get overwhelmed, is if I go somewhere, even in the Ocala one that I went into that I loved, I was on my way to Orlando. So it's not like I really had all the time in the world to just go shopping. So I'm like, oh my gosh, but then I get overwhelmed because I'm like, I don't have that much time, but there's so many things to look at. Like, that is a really great tip. Like, just have a day where you can spend the afternoon floating around to different stores.
Yeah.
I wish I could ask if anyone in the audience had any questions, but I can't. Because, well, I can. You can comment below, and then maybe we'll do another video if there's other questions. But anyway, I hope this was helpful. It was definitely helpful for me. I think this is a really interesting category, and, you know, there's so many ways to go secondhand shopping now. It's not just the ones that are locally, like in your hometown. You know, there's stores online like ThredUp. That's my main one that I go to. There's Depop, you know, places like that. Poshmark, you know, there are just so many places to go find things that it's definitely a market that needs to be tapped if you haven't yet. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll leave Erika's information below if you want some tips on organizing. And also she has a personal channel as well. Where are you gonna post this video?
I need to figure that out.
Well, we'll just put our information down there.
Put all my info. People can find
Our
me.
home address, our cell phone number, just kidding. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.